Okay, I've had this Bluetooth headset for some years now, and it's fine. It was only cheap, but it's become unreliable, which is really annoying. I mean, that's actually very nicely designed. It's a nice little simple PCB, a proper little momentary switch, so quite good quality, little tactile switch. But the Achilles heel is this connector. Um, it's where you charge the battery and where you connect it to the earphones themselves. So the helmet has the sort of jack thing. But for one thing, this points around the wrong way, which is slightly annoying, but not the end of the world. But more particularly, you just don't get a good contact with these. They get looser and looser to the point where you're getting an intermittent contact. And I was riding just the other day. I volunteer for the blood bikes, and you really need to have comms working to your phone. And I missed a call, 2 calls in fact, because the connector wasn't working. And because you don't know, there's no warning. So yeah, time to get a new one. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. It's a shame. I was trying to work out a way of sort of bypassing this connector, having a permanent connection to the headphones, and maybe a separate charging connector. But it's so small, just too much hassle. So yeah, that's dead. But trying to decide what to do to replace it, I think I either go for a really expensive one, like 200 quid or something, whatever the Senna ones cost. But in the end, I've cheapskated out and have gone for the second cheapest on Amazon. So I'm trying to give this a go and just see whether it works. If it doesn't work, then I've only lost, I think it's £23. The cheapest is 14, but this is 23. But one of the reasons that appealed to me is that there's no connectors. I think it's all permanently wired in, and there's a separate ordinary USB connector. So again, it's standard. You can charge it off anything rather than having to have this special lead. So straight out of the box, looks like a bunch of Velcro stuff as usual. Some stocks for the mic. There's one on there already, and there's 2 spares by the looks of it. Some instructions. I went for the slightly more expensive one because the battery life was way better than the £14 one. This one I think is supposed to last 600 hours or something on standby, something bonkers. 900 milliamp hour battery. So yeah, there's no connectors, nothing to sort of wear out, apart from obviously the charging port, which is on here by the looks of it. I haven't read the instructions yet. The downside is, I suppose, that the controls are actually on the mic. In effect, so I'm going to have to reach inside the helmet to operate them. But again, with this particular one, another reason for choosing this, it does have auto answer. So I think after so many seconds of the phone ringing, it will automatically answer the call if you've got it set up that way. So obviously you need to read the instructions and work out how that works. The only other downside, possibly, and I haven't looked into this yet, but one of the good things about the old one was you could pair it up to a second rider. Not sure how many. I think you could certainly have 2, which I did quite often. Maybe you could have more. But that was handy. If I was running with my son, for example, 2 of us on bikes, it was really nice to be able to talk to each other, full duplex, and that worked really well. But whether this one does it or not, I'm not sure. This is Bluetooth 5, so the higher or the latest spec. Anyway, we'll see. I'll give it a try, and hopefully it'll at least work for phone calls, which is the primary purpose for getting it. If it does anything else, then that's a bonus. One immediately annoying thing is that this sock that's actually attached, looks like these bigger ones fit over the top of this one maybe, but this one is kind of glued on somehow, but you can't see the LED, so I've just nicked a bit out of there to make that visible, but yeah, so it's slightly annoying. Anyway, it's on charge now, and I'll put it in the helmet in due course. So it's actually in, very easy to install. The interconnecting wire goes around the back, just tucks in, you can actually see it there, poke that in slightly. under the side pads, microphone in the front. So yeah, and it works fine. Just tried a sort of test call, and it auto answers okay. That seems to be the default setting, but you can change it not to auto answer. I can actually reach up through here, certainly without gloves on. I think to accept or reject a call, then putting in any button works, so that's fine. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the sound quality isn't fantastic, but it's not bad. Just in the house. I'll try it on the road, obviously, and see how it works then. But so far, so good. I've read the instructions. It definitely doesn't have even a single connection to another headset, which is a shame. But so I very rarely use it, especially now my son has sold his motorbike. But yeah, it certainly doesn't have any sort of mesh interconnectivity that the more expensive ones do. But for what I want, just answering phone calls essentially, and maybe listening to the odd uh, bit of music or podcasts. That's fine by the looks of it. Okay, so I've had this Bluetooth headset for a few weeks now, and given it a good try, and it's fine basically. I mean, it all works. It's nice and simple. It's nice that nothing sticks out from the side of the helmet and that type of thing to get knocked. So it's all self-contained. It's a shame it hasn't got the interconnectivity to other users, other bikes, for example. But I can live without that personally. The battery life is fine. I mean, it easily lasts all day. I've never had it fail. Sound quality is okay-ish. It's certainly okay for listening to podcasts and phone calls. Um, Above about 60, 70 miles an hour, it starts to get difficult to hear. So it could be louder. But most of the time around town, which is what I use it mostly for, it is fine. And the microphone isn't brilliant, but it seems to be legible at least. And for 23 quid, I don't think you can knock it really. So unless you want the extra features or you need them, I think as a cheap and cheerful answer, then this is good. I would recommend it. Okay, thanks for watching.